Good morning, buenos días todos y bienvenidos a esta edición del SugarCity MorningShow. Hoy es el 5 de agosto y son exactamente las 7:02. Bienvenidos. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la calle San Lorenzo. Y es un gran gusto poder saludarles a todos desde este lugar. Todas las personas que están cumpliendo años, muchas felicidades, que la pasen de maravilla. También a las personas que nos ven en los lugares lejos, como a San José Socots, porque, bueno, estamos en cable y es un gran gusto poder decirles que estamos unidos a la red de cable y por eso les enviamos saludos a todos, a toda la audiencia que nos ve y en particular, a los que nos ven en los lugares bastante lejos. Es más, Corozal, a Ciudad Belice, Taleda, San Ignacio, Benque, San José Socots, Dangriga y Toledo. Obviamente, también envío saludos calurosos a toda nuestra gente aquí en Orange Walk. También estamos transmitiendo por aire, es más, un servicio especial de parte de los dueños de esta televisión que permite que vean Canal 10 absolutamente gratis. Es un servicio especial para la gente que vive en el norte del distrito de Orange Walk y también en Corozal y sus aldeas. Y no pagas nada, simplemente tienes que conectar tu televisor a una antenita o algo por el estilo para que puedas capturar la imagen la transmisión que trafica por aire. Bueno, compañeros, también estamos en el internet, en Facebook. Simplemente tienes que entrar a la página SugarCity MorningShow y ahí nos ves. Es un gran gusto saludarles, como siempre. Quiero a este punto enviarles saludos especiales. Vamos a ver quién está cumpliendo años ahorita. Estelita Carlos, estás cumpliendo años. Y también, wow, tengo un sobrino que también está cumpliendo años. Enrique Martínez, 20 años de edad. Estelita, que la pases bien. Enrique, que la pases de maravilla. También quiero a este punto desearle un día excelente a mi buena amiga Maggie Burgos. Siempre me manda saludos, así que hoy te estoy mandando saludos calurosos a ti y a tu familia y también a toda la gente que nos ve ahí en Riverside. Bueno, compañeros, vamos rápidamente a la oración, a comenzar este programa con una oración, porque así lo hemos hecho por varios años y porque creo yo que es lo correcto para hacer. Abrimos nuestros ojos esta mañana. ¿Qué más queremos? Tenemos la vida, tenemos salud, así que vamos a agradecerle a nuestro Creador por todas las bendiciones que nos da. Así que te pido que te unas conmigo a decir: Padre, muchas gracias por todas tus bendiciones. Nos das vida, nos das salud, nos das fuerzas, nos tienes paciencia, nos enseñas a través de las experiencias, nos perdonas, nos amas intensamente. Gracias por todo esto, Padre. Te pido que siempre continúes amándonos de esta forma. Eso es lo que me hace sentir que siempre estás a mi lado. Siempre, siempre, siempre. Te pido, Padre, por los enfermos, las enfermas en los hospitales, en sus casas, en las cárceles, en las calles. Te pido, Padre, también por los viejitos, los ancianos, los niños desamparados. Te pido también por todos nosotros, que nosotros tengamos la capacidad de merecer todas estas bendiciones. Padre, te bendecimos, te adoramos y te glorificamos siempre. Amén. If you just joined us, it's exactly 6 minutes after 7. I am smelling tacos and delicious smell aroma in the studio at the moment. And I want to thank Mr. Elvis for bringing them and for being our guest in the following segment. Um, let's go on directly to the general weather forecast. It is already the 5th of August, and I beg your pardon, and something terrible is happening. It's not raining. And the other day we brought in people from the agriculture department, and we were talking about climate change and how the farmers need to make quick changes to the way they do things, because if we're going to depend on the rain to come down, we might lose a crop. We might easily lose a crop. So this is urgent. This is almost emergency. And we'll be having that person back again next week sometime, because it's important that we disseminate this kind of information. For the moment, let's go to the general weather forecast that says generally fair conditions prevail. The 24-hour forecast: sunny with cloudy spells today and partly cloudy tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, except for a few more over the south this morning and tonight. The winds from the east-southeast, 10 to 20 knots. The sea stayed choppy. Temperatures along the coast, 88 as a high, 84 as a low. Inland, 94 as a high, and get this, 77 as a low. It's going to be pretty warm in the wee hours of the night. And in the hills, 84 degrees as a high and 72 degrees as a low. The outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday and Tuesday night, is for a few showers or isolated thunderstorms to continue to affect mostly southern districts. Elsewhere, showers will be isolated. Well, the south is getting the rain, but the north is not getting any rain. A low tide occurs this morning at 7:10, which is just about a minute or so. A high tide at 1:16, and a second low tide at 7:40 tonight, and the second high tide tomorrow morning at 1:51. The sun rose this morning at 5:33. The sun is setting this evening at 6:23, and the moon is rising at 10:07 this morning, and the moon is setting at 10:23 this tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to go on a break, but before we need to go on a break, I'll do the in Spanish, and also vamos a ir al reporte del estado del tiempo, primero en español, casi se me olvida. La situación general, buen tiempo. Tiempo seco, tiempo caluroso. Yo no sé si lo clasificarías buen tiempo, porque también necesitamos la lluvia a base de emergencia. Las siguientes 24 horas que podremos ver: soleado con periodos de nubosidad, hoy parcialmente nublado por la noche, chubascos, tormentas serán aisladas excepto sobre el sur, donde hoy por la mañana y por la noche. El sur está recibiendo su cuota de lluvia, pero aquí en el norte no se está recibiendo. Los vientos del este-sudeste, 10 a 20 nudos en el estado del mar agitado. Temperaturas, por la costa, 88 como una máxima, 84 como una mínima. Wow, eso es caluroso. En el interior, 94 como una máxima, 77 como una mínima. Y por las colinas, 84 como una máxima y 72 como una mínima. ¿Te imaginas durmiendo a 84 grados con una mínima? Ahí ni lo que sopla el abanico. Aquí en Nueva York no estamos acostumbrados a eso. No creo que jamás, nunca hemos tenido una temperatura mínima de 84. Siempre estamos en 74 o 75, 77 aún, pero nunca 84. Wow. ¿Qué se espera mañana martes? Y mañana martes por la noche, chubascos y tronadas aisladas, continuando, pero afectando los distritos en el sur del país. Por otro lado, los chubascos serán completamente aislados. Una marea baja a las 7:10 hoy por la mañana, una alta a la 1:16, otra baja a las 7:40 por la noche y otra alta a la 1:51. El sol salió hoy a las 5:33, el sol se oculta a las 6:23. Fíjense que rápido está cambiando la hora de cuando se oculta el sol, 6:23. Lo anuncié, ¿no? Que rápidamente iba, cuando arranca como si nadie lo puede parar, a las 6:23. Estuvo parado como a las 6:30 por un rato, pero ahora casi cada día está cambiando un minuto. La luna sale a las 10:07 hoy por la mañana y se oculta a las 10:23. Muchas gracias, Michelle Smith, por esa información. También muchas gracias a nuestros patrocinadores. Hay que agradecer a Digi, A&R Stores, Government of Belize Information Service, también German Vega Sons, Vega Imports, Vega Distributors, Gillette's Meat Shop, Belize Tourist Board. Vamos a una pausa. Son las 7:13 y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes tan pronto estos anuncios. Tenemos un invitado muy especial. Vamos a la pausa.
6 cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, rush runs, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Every friendly competition has a winner and a loser. A runner-up, a second best, someone that just doesn't have what it takes. Our friends know this feeling all too well. Since Digi introduced their new prepaid data plans, Digi plans have been happier than ever. While the other guys, their plans just can't even compare. Digi's new plans have the best value for your dollar. That's more data for less money, with even more options. So keep being a winner and keep living your best life with Digi.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl.
Someone come, yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa.
Who no?
Fastest question of the day. What you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
Cho all of that? Well, know that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10. Es un gran gusto poder llegar hasta lo más íntimo de sus hogares. Please join me in welcoming no stranger to Channel 10. He is a good friend of us, and he is Mr. Elvis Reynolds. Good morning, Elvis.
Yeah, good morning.
And welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
I'm glad. I can see that.
Yeah, relaxed.
You look relaxed.
Yeah.
Elvis has been involved in politics in Carmelita, and he was the chairman of the Carmelita Village Council up until perhaps some months ago. And the reason we've asked him to come is because he's one of those persons who is willing to share to give his piece about what he thinks in terms of what needs to be changed at village council level. Elvis, I think that you were one of the first persons who brought to light the fact that the majority of the people in the country of Belize living in rural areas.
Yeah, that's correct. 55%.
55% of the population lives in rural areas. And that 45 obviously lives in urban areas. But the village council acts or the laws of the villages is so antiquated and so irrelevant for present day that it sometimes makes it difficult to do your job. I want you to just give me your experiences. What would you like to see changed in the Village Council Act? And what some of the things?
There are several things that I believe need to be changed, right? But I want to go back to the recent elections.
Okay, go ahead.
The country of Belize recently did a re-registration program that is trying to clean up the voters list and put people in the area that they reside to vote in that particular area.
Yes.
But then this drastic work that was done recently does not apply to the rural communities, which created a major problem in these village council elections that recently took place. One of the things is that you do not need to be on a voters list to vote in village council election.
Which is one of the biggest discrepancies.
Yep. And you only need to reside in the village for 2 months prior to the election. So there is no way to verify that, one. And why create a list of voters if that list is no good for 55% of the voting community in this country? To me, I think it's a shame how village council elections are conducted, how they're carried out these days, because politics has divided this village terribly. In villages, majority of people are some sort of a relatives, and the political parties get in these villages now and divide even families. And
was it always like this, Elvis?
No, it was not like this. First, you would have nomination on election day. The villagers would go there and nominate 7, 8, 9 people, 10, and then they have the election from those people.
And there was no political interference. In other words, I'm going to vote, I'm going to nominate you for who you are, not for what you represent in a party.
And that is what messing up these things now, because you're watching in a small village and all the big names, politicians are out there juggling money, juggling gifts, juggling whatever, just to say that I've won an election in this particular village. And after that, they're gone. You do not see them anymore. And these same people that they divide and cause disturbance where it has to be there dealing with each other on a day-to-day basis with their mouth long, mad at each other because of these politicians, because of party politics.
So they stay to sweat the fever, as they would say.
Yeah.
But the ones who caused the whole thing, they've gone and left.
They're gone, yeah.
They're gone. They've got what they wanted. They got no win.
Yeah.
A win.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe that's if they will continue to say that, yes, a permanent resident can vote in a village council election, although they cannot vote in a general election, then they need to create some sort of a voting list for village council election. If you're not on that list, you cannot vote. Because, example, in Carmelita, I can safely say that over 50 persons that do not live in Carmelita
voted
in Carmelita.
But that was enough to be able to change the outcome of the elections.
Yes, it is. And
But then, is there, as it is right now, are there systems that help mitigate this kind of occurrence? In other words, don't you have scrutineers? Or the scrutineers weren't as good as you thought they were? Or how does it go? Or they didn't, or the person who they were the presiding officer didn't pay them any
yeah, I
money?
believe the people from Election and Boundaries contributed quite handsomely to the outcomes of these elections in that particular manner. But then I can't fully blame them. I have to blame the system, because if there is no criteria for you to identify people that lives in the village. How can it be done? Somebody might come and say, my name is John Tom. He's not on the voters list, but he says I live in Carmelita. Scrutiny might say, I don't know you. The one from the side that is bringing that person to vote, say, yes, I know him, he lives back a little Belize.
You lie through the eye teeth.
What does the election and boundary people do? Get out there. Anybody know this person? Two people from that particular party say, yes, I know this person, and that's it. They don't care what the other side is saying. No, I don't know this person. Well, that's it. The guy that went to Carmelita was even very rude. He said, I run the show here and nobody tell me if you don't know why you have nothing. So that has been the major problem that I observe
with the village council.
Election. And it's all over. In Palmar, a current councillor of the Carmelita Village Council that recently got elected was in the line in Palmar with another friend.
To vote?
To vote.
Did that person vote?
Didn't get to vote because someone identified him and realized that, hey, you are from Carmelita, you're a councillor. And so eventually they came out the line, pretty upset, almost wanted to fight. And this observation was made all over the East. In every village, they did the same thing, bringing people that do not live in the village. So we can safely say that the decision made was not made by villagers of the particular villages.
And that there was a shift in the way, there was a shift, and that was caused by those persons who don't live in the area. In the area. A lot of people might be saying, oh, it's, this is sour grapes. That at the end of the day, it's been going on and been utilized by both parties, and that at the end of the day, the United Democratic Party has pretty much done the same thing. There are people who say that. And they say it's only because of sour grapes that we're talking now about changing the Village Council Act. But apart from what we just spoke about, there are many other reasons to change the Village Council Act. Am I not right?
Yeah.
Because it is irrelevant. Just the other day, we were talking to some individuals who had just recently been elected at the village council level, and they go like, well, who gives us money? Where do we get our money from? And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. I said, like, you don't get any money.
From the NAVCO and DAVCO levels, we have been trying to lobby to see how we could get a situation like that changed. I talk about it all the time because in the town, they get subvention, they get traffic, they get liquor license, and
trade license,
and other benefits, other monies that they get to use for the towns and cities. The mayor and councillors, I assume, gets a salary or a hefty enough stipend. But in the village council, where you're expected to manage the village in similar manner as the town does, you get zero. And I say zero, I mean zero, because only the chairpersons receive 200 shillings, as a good friend of mine usually say. I don't even want to say the amount in dollars because it's disgraceful to say that
$50 a month.
person receive $50 a month. And that is only one person on the board.
The rest don't get nothing.
The rest don't get anything. But you're expected to keep your village clean, to assist the elderlies, to help with medical, to make sure the streets are okay and there is lights and there is everything. But you get nothing to work with. Only the proceeds from liquor license. And I always said it's a disgraceful thing to say I'm going to give these villages the proceeds from liquor license, a destructive substance, one of the substances that create the most problem in the country is liquor. But we'll give you that money to help fix your village.
In
So
other
you
words,
try
the
your village first.
more bars you have, the more liquor licensing you issue, the better it is for you guys. That needs to change. So the village council does not get any money from any of the stores?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So you can have a big store, and that store doesn't pay anything to the village council?
Once you're in the village, you do not pay any type of a trade license, you do not pay anything that goes to the village. Nothing.
Nothing. So all those big stores like coming up in Ladyville, in Trial Farm, in those areas, they pay $0 in taxes, property taxes, nothing like that.
And from the navigator level, we were trying to look at it, but it's difficult because how are you going to tax these stores when the Chinese
Just like everybody
are
else.
already running the little stores in the ground? And if we decide to tax, how will we tax them fairly across the board so that the little people can pay the little bit? They're already suffering, and most of them have to close their doors because the big fish are eating them up. And if the government put a tax on these poor people, small businesses, then they will fall faster. So how are we going to do it? That is the biggest problem that we have. And if you go to these big business people, they very rare want to contribute anything to the community.
And that's an on-top situation.
There is the problem of garbage in every village.
But the Village Council Act does stipulate that the Village Council can charge.
Yeah, you can charge.
You can charge. But the point is that wish you all the luck, but the people won't pay.
And again, that goes back to the same thing that we were talking about this morning, politicians and their interference in the first place in elections. Because the politicians have gotten the Belizeans in a habit now of wanting to collect. You can hardly get someone to register, to be eligible to vote. They don't want to do that if you don't pay. Now, I've said it over and over. I don't care, and I didn't care losing an election, but I will not pay a single penny to no one in my village to vote for me to be their leader. I will not do that. I will not encourage that. because this is a very, very terrible trend to start to set for the people in these small communities. The election in these villages will never be fair anymore. If the few dollars is what makes people to make
As best as you can say, was there anything that going on in Carmelita?
Big time.
Rampant.
Rampant. The laws of Belize state that no alcohol should be sold or consumed on election day. And there was representative of these alcohol manufacturing people giving out what they call bad man and such, little small.
Kidding me.
Giving out in close proximity to the polling station.
You did joke.
Very serious. Giving them out free. And the policemen are right there.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing. So it simply means that our law are getting almost useless for a few dollars.
This is disturbing. Let's take a break. 7:38. I need to take a break on that. It's 22 minutes before 9 o'clock. We'll be right back with you after these messages.
On Wednesday, May 8th, Belizeans soundly decided to take the unfounded Guatemalan claim to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. According to the special agreement, this is what happens next. 1. By June 8, 2019, the government of Belize will submit the 2008 special agreement to the ICJ. Guatemala has already done so since their referendum was held in 2018. This will give the ICJ official authority to hear the dispute and to deliver a final binding result. The ICJ will then prepare a notice of when the trial will commence. 2. Next, Guatemala will have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to submit their case to the ICJ. 3. Belize will then have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to respond to Guatemala's submission. 4. From there, Guatemala will be given up to 6 months to reply to our arguments, and 5. Belize will then have up to 6 months thereafter to reply to Guatemala's response. 6. After the period of written arguments ends, the ICJ may allow additional pleadings, including oral arguments, and would set deadlines for those. 7. Once the timeline for arguments has ended, the ICJ will deliberate and make a ruling in accordance with the instructions and authorities granted to them by Belize and Guatemala, as per the 2008 special agreement. 8. After the ICJ's ruling is delivered, Belize and Guatemala will have 3 months to establish a joint commission to physically demarcate the boundaries between the two countries in accordance with the ICJ's ruling. The entire process will take no less than 4 years and can be as many as 6 years. This ICJ process will bring a final end to this long-standing Belize-Guatemala dispute. Belize and Guatemala will be able to put old divisions and antagonisms behind us and ensure that peace, development, and cooperation prevail.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Hollover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road, LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Residents of Dangriga now have their very own brand new modernized multi-purpose complex, compliments of the government of Belize. This $3.5 million investment in the cultural capital will host sporting events, cultural events, and shows, and can double as a hurricane shelter. Features include seating for 1,000, a fully FIBA certified wooden court, locker rooms with full bathrooms, a stage and changing rooms backstage, concession stands, office space, and ample parking. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lemulus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional road works will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Here we are with Mr. Elvis Reynolds, who is the past chairman of the Carmelita Village Council. And I've asked him to come over because he's an open bucket. He will tell you as it is. And this is all in our effort, to try to inform the people of the villages and also the newly elected village councillors that you see, the Village Council Act does not empower them to be able to go to collect taxes at the different business houses. You may see a number of big stores at the village. You may see a number of big businesses at the village, but the village gets zero money out of these businesses, because that's the way it is. That's the way the law is written. So how can the village council expect to do its job? In other words, how can the people expect the village council to do its job if there is no money that is forthcoming for the village council? And we're raising the topic over and over again to create an awareness of it, to create a consciousness of it. And that at the end of the day, the Village Council Act must be changed, and it must be changed quickly. Because at the end of the day, 55% of the people living in rural areas, and you have very little legal work done for the village councils for them to be able to generate money. And that's not good. That's not good at all. The majority of the people living in villages, and we are not putting that much interest into it. We're letting it ride and ride and ride. And like hoping that someday it is going to fix itself. It won't, unless we take the effort of making the change. And that's why I'd like to say good morning again to Elvis, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Elvis, garbage is always one problem, a big problem. For village councils, how did Carmelita manage with that?
The village council has managed to dispose of the actual, what I call the public area garbage, and the garbage from the school. But there is no designated area to throw these garbage. I must give the Department of the Environment a big up, because they have assisted Carmelita and my village council wrote a proposal, and they helped us with some funds to clean up the garbage from around the village. But there is nowhere to put the garbage, no designated area, and they didn't want us to build a pit. We wanted to build a garbage pit close enough to Carmelita, but then the thing is changing, whereby all the garbage collected in the district must go now to Champagne Ridge at a new disposal facility that they have put up there. I don't know if it's operational yet. But nothing is in place how the garbage is going to get from these villages to this disposal site. It is now left to village council to find a way how to do that. And of course that will have to come with a cost to the villagers. And we are already experiencing problems in villagers paying $10 for water, although they can be disconnected if they do not pay. How are we going to collect for the disposal of garbage when there is no system, there is not the will of the majority of people to pay to dispose of their garbage? So there again it comes whereby there is nothing set aside for these village councils to do all these things that need to be done. We're left on our own. How will it be done? So government again needs to look at a way how to provide these services.
So not even the, let me interject there, not even the garbage from the village, from the businesses, business houses. Those owners take care of their own garbage, hopefully.
Yeah, they have to do the best, but then they throw them anywhere
They
too.
throw them anywhere. Okay, all right, I understand. But the village council does not get any benefit there of the disposal of the garbage, of any payments rather from any of these big business houses in the village.
Nothing.
Zero at all.
Our village council was trying to see what we could have done to bring something on stream by the time the new facility is open. We don't know how it's going to work out now, but that's one of the major problems. And I said, not only in Carmelita, it's all over the district.
And the reason I'm going to ask you a straight-up question, what do you think is the problem? Because you were the president of NAVCO, but you were also involved in NAVCO. NAVCO, and I'm sure through that forum, you created an awareness of it and you pushed for it. But what happened? You met...
Political will, I would say.
There was
It's
a lack of
stumbling
political
block,
will to do
yeah, in getting these things done. The cycle of election seems to come so fast. And the politicians, they don't want to do anything to create a problem in getting these votes. So, even when laws are created or made, they does not last too long. They are not enforced because they grab the wrong person and they run to some minister or the other and say, so and so is the case. And the minister says, man, left that person alone. There's see what I could do to help here and there. So then it's just like that law is finished. And it's with almost all the laws in Belize. You should not litter. But how often do you hear someone
just taken to court
persecuted for it? Big thing about tinting on vehicles. It lasts for a month or two, it dies down. 2-3 years after it come up again, little disturbance and it dies down again. And that is what going on with all the rules and regulation in this country. So we are in terrible condition. And if the Village Council Act is not changed rapidly, we're going to find ourselves in very dangerous situation in these rural communities. And the next thing, Emmanuel, that is very disturbing, the criteria to become a councillor
Talk to me about that.
or a chairperson is just zero criteria. Any who could get up there and say I will run.
Do you have to be a Belizean?
Well, you have to be a Belizean. But what I'm saying is maybe in terms of education or exposure.
But in the end of the day, is that the people who make that decision?
People make that decision, but the mass amount of the people doesn't really pay much attention to that because the village council...
They vote on party lines?
They vote on party lines.
So regardless of if you're going to stand at 6 or stand at 3, because he's running for a certain party, they're going to vote for him.
And I'm going to get $50 to vote for this person. I'm going to vote. I don't care what happened. By the end of the day, your $50 is gone, and you're faced with the problems of your village for the next 3 years. Almost every law, every regulation is being broken in these rural communities, but there is no one there to enforce. Sometimes you think about maybe calling the police, but then they say, oh, you're an informer, you're this and you're that, and then the thing continues to go on and on within these villages. Village council are expected to turn in a monthly report of the finances, but there's It is strange that you have to send in a report of your financing when the most village doesn't have any financing. But a lot of people get elected and you're not no accountant. For instance, Carmelita is one of the villages that makes a little money.
Or from its sandpit.
From the sand revenue. We have two villages in Orange Rock district. That's Carmelita and
San Antonio?
Agaspine Ridge.
Agaspine Ridge.
The villagers, because a little money comes in from the sandpit, they believe that now we don't need to do no kind of a voluntary services in the villages. Everything must be paid. And the village council are under tremendous pressure from the residents because they want all kind of assistance. Education, sickness, funeral help.
Anything.
Anything. They come to the chairperson and they want.
Is the sandpit revenue enough to do all of that?
It is not enough to do all of that. And I've heard on the other side, the new village council in Carmelita is mentioning that so much money has been earned from the sandpit and they don't know where the money went. Well, for the past 3 years, the sandpit in Carmelita earned $44,000 per year. It took 30,000 to run the village of Carmelita. The sand collector received $14,540 a year.
What would the sand collector be? Who would that be?
The sand collector he has a job. He collects the trucks that comes from the sand pit.
Who does this? Okay.
Yeah, that's his job. His pay is $14,540 a year. He makes $250 a week,
plus,
and he works for 54 weeks. So you say it's 52 weeks in a year, but he gets 2 weeks holiday pay. And then on Sunday, normally the students, they make $20 a day. So that come up to a total of $14,540. Social Security pay is around $1,000 for the sand collector. An average of $3,600 per year to clean the cemetery. $3,600 to clean the football field. $1,080 to clean 3 bus stops, because citizens clean 2. Average of $1,500 a year for electricity, for the community center, the football field, and the cemetery. We pay $1,800 a year to remove the garbage from a few garbage boxes that we have in the village and remove the garbage from the school. 2 medical teams per year that comprise of about 30 medical personnel visited Carmelita within the past 3 years, and we paid $700 per visit. That's for food. I mean, $700 for the year, $350 per visit. The nurses that take care of the ladies and the babies, they go monthly to Carmelita. We usually take care of their food. It costs us $480 for the year.
So you have all of these expenses paid out. And all of these things, you have it in order.
Yes. We did not present in a term financial report, but all these things are documented and turned over to the Rural Development Department for them to verify and check, and then we are going to have that report fully ready. I must make mention also that it's the same situation we were faced with when we became the village council of Carmelita. The former village council did not present a report either. And one of the reasons for that is because it is difficult to present these reports, because I said most of us are just regular people that doesn't have much accounting ability. At times the work becomes tremendous and you're not paid to do this work. So people say, man, to hell with it. And they leave it there. But everybody, and I want to make mention of this, it costs $30,000 to run the day-to-day affairs of the village. That left us with $14,000 for the year to do projects and for handout and giveaways.
And that is what takes up all the money, handouts.
Yeah. So with $14,000, Carmelita Village Council gives $100 to the family of anybody that died in Carmelita. So you take, we have at least 8 deaths per year.
Take off $800
Take off another $800 immediately. We give meat, an average of about $60 a week, to the Carmelita Government School for their feeding program. That's $240 a month, times 12.
That's a lot of money.
Close to $3,000. We, the school just recently engaged in trying to raise tilapia. The village council dig the pond.
But you know, you begin to do the amount of people who come to your door and say, Elvis, my wife's sick, I need your help.
That's a tremendous amount.
My wife's sick, I need your help. Elvis, my daughter's sick, I need your help. The people know who they are.
Yeah.
The people know how much they've gotten.
And the people sign.
On the sign.
Every time they get anything, they have to sign a voucher. So their names are right there. Whoever receives, sign. So people can't run away. Even the person that is the chairman presently came to me and he received a help of $100 because he received a trip a mile to use in his driveway. Personal use. And that's at a value of $100.
Of course.
So he got his little bite out of the pie also. He received $100. We pay the librarian $600 a month from January or from December of last year. The village council built a shed behind the community center to help house the library children when they go to read.
What about the Mother's Day program? What about its Christmas program? What about all of those programs when I say Elvis had to shin up in a pocket and take out money? Where did that money come from?
All right. When I finished my audit, the village council owed me quite a bit of money, Emmanuel.
That's what I figured.
Because my personality, the type of person I am, I don't care who you are. You can be bluer than blue. and you come to me and you need a help, I will help you. I will find a way to do it. Sometimes I scratch my head because I don't know what the hell to do to balance things off. But I don't want to tell nobody, I can't help you, man, when you need help. That's how I operate. In or out of village council, it doesn't matter me. That is who I am. And every jack soul from Carmelita that knows me knows that. And they know that the village council under my leadership has been the best performing village council throughout the history of Carmelita. When it comes to projects, when it comes to help, when it comes to developing Carmelita, there is none other that can compare to that. And I also want to big up my representative, my minister, because he has been great in helping Carmelita. That man has went out his way to throw in projects in Carmelita, to develop Carmelita. And it hurts me to the bone when I see that politicians come into these villages and trick the people with a little bit of money and a driver's license to vote for them. And at the end of the day, what they're doing to these poor villagers is messing them up because they're gone now. Driver's license will expire. $50 is gone. And they leave the people behind to suffer. And when I have been the person when it comes to traffic, I'm very serious with traffic. I was a trucker in the United States for many years. I have over 1 million miles of driving experience behind me. And when I see infraction out there on our highways, when I notice the amount of people dying on the highways of Belize, because we do not have speed cops, we do not have highway patrols to monitor these people. And when I hear about people that want to be leaders giving driver's license to people in my village, and Mr. Bernard can get away with maybe saying, I paid for the license, so I didn't do any corruption at Town Hall. But he damn well did not get these people to take a test.
So there are people who don't...
They're putting people on the highway to kill Belizeans, my brother. And that disturbs me.
At the end of the day, they don't know how to drive.
They don't know how to drive, and he don't know if they know how to drive. So why the hell are you going to give them a driver's license just to get a vote? Is that the leader we want for our country? Is that the leader we want in Orange Walk East? Somebody that is doing those kind of nonsense and doesn't care who get hurt out there? I know of mentally challenged people in Carmelita that receive driver's license.
What?
And I could talk it because I've seen the driver's license. I know the people that get these driver's license.
I could nearly know that one.
And those things are terrible. How can you think to be a leader and want to do these type of things to people and have the heart to talk about anything that is called corruption? Something is wrong with people like that, my brother.
But don't you think that at the same time something is wrong with the people who accept all of these things?
Well, the people that they don't care. We are in the culture now of getting a little gift to vote. We don't worry about nothing. The majority of the people out there have not have the mentality to think about the future. And that's why we need capable leaders to start to think for the people out there. And if we are going to have leaders that are going to do those things and just to jump up and boast and say, oh, I win the majority of elections and village council elections, and don't care what they did to the people, then something is terribly wrong with our system, something is terribly wrong with our culture, and it needs to be changed. People like this, if they were in other part of the world, they would be in jail, locked up.
Elvis, we must take a break on that one. It's 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're getting it live and direct here on Channel 10 Sugar City Morning Show. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with you.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
These sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico. The first two phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopon Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable difference for commuters and residents alike. These first two phases are a $16.5 million investment by the government of Belize. Under this project, the highway is being rehabilitated through improvement of the road pavement to create a safer environment for the public. Improvements, especially in the areas that pose a high risk to motorists, include the introduction of paved road shoulders, high visibility line markings, reflective road studs, bus laybys, and other features that will bring the entire road segment in line with internationally recognized standards. Additionally, the replacement of the existing single-lane bridges will reduce road user risks. These improvements will increase economic, tourism, and agricultural opportunities, further encouraging the social development of Belize, particularly in the south. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. A very candid talk here with Mr. Elvis Reynolds, who is the past chairman of the Village Council, the Carmelita Village Council. A very straight-up individual who has been telling us the in and outs of what happened in the last Village Council elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we continue with that discussion because that's what we're here for. That's exactly what we're here for. Elvis, you did a lot for Carmelita.
I sure did.
I think that it was under your chairmanship that a lot of lands were distributed. And I can recall being along in Carmelita when I think that some of the sporting facilities were upgraded. The lights were put up at the football field. A number of projects happened. I can recall being there for the Mother's Day program, for the Christmas Day programs. And the Mother's Day program in particular was well attended and extremely well attended. And other villages don't even begin to get half of what you all work for.
Like I say, Emmanuel, I had the privilege of working along with both our ones, senior and junior. And both of these gentlemen are extremely hard-working gentlemen. The son, present minister, is full of energy. Some people might say, oh, he's a little cheap. But when you have a family of 5,000
straight up
coming to you every minute, want you to take care of the majority of their problems, you have to get a little cheap, my brother, else you run yourself in serious trouble, and you'll end up losing your immediate family because they'll be gone if you give away everything and can't take care of your immediate family and your wife and children. But Minister Aragon have always found a way to help people because he's a compassionate guy. He has a nice heart. And I'm not saying this because of anything. I personally have not gotten nothing. And sometimes I believe that is some of the problem with the UDP. Because we tend to want to just take care of everybody's problems, and at times we forget our very own people. The people that put us there, the people that expect to be served. And I will say this without any reservation. The PUPs don't care. They're not ashamed. You could have your Christmas program, your mother be right there in front. They jump and they get ahead of the UDP. They don't give a damn. They want. So they want to be served. When it's the UDP government, they want to be served better than the UDP people, and they want still to be served when it's the PUP. But the UDP people, we tend to be more reserved. We kind of want to shame, we want to stand at back, and while they jump in the front and look for grab everything.
That pretty much typifies it, you know.
And that's why sometimes, because we're so kind and generous to everybody, our own people, our own UD people, they get vexed with us. And some of them say, "Mother, I turn PUP because they get better treatment than me."
True.
We're left behind. But it goes to show the quality of people that are in the United Democratic Party, the quality of leaders that are there for the UDP. They're kind and generous people. They don't want to be bad-minded and negative, so they try to serve everybody. And this minister that we have right now in the East is very outstanding in trying to get projects and helping people, especially along the line of education.
When is the new high school going to be begun? Sometime.
The high school is scheduled to start before this year ends. We have already cleaned down the ground.
You also have found another spot for the police station.
Yes, because shamefully and very disappointingly, even if you look at our village council records, you're going to see excess sum amount of money allotted for cleaning that portion of land that was supposed to be.
So you actually clean somebody else's property.
For years and years, the village council has been maintaining that property, cleaning it and having it in such a beautiful condition. And when after the soil testing and everything was done for our police station that is very badly needed, when we get to find out these same people that say they are leaders and they are so good for our community, or the owners of this property, crime is rampant in Carmelita, and we couldn't build the police station yet because the land is owned by people that knows better, knows that this is community land. If you love your community, and I'm still appealing now to cards, one of the cards are a part of this village council, give the land back to the community.
That's the right thing to do.
It's the best thing to do. If you're not corrupt and if you think that you're a good leader, give it back to the community. And
I
prove
had
yourself.
to laugh a little while ago because the way he said it is because every year you allot a certain amount of money to even clean the property because you think that you know the property is yours and that might as well be clean, keep it clean. Turns out the property was not for the village council. The property had gone into private hands. The same public land that was used for football and for this and for the other was being used was actually taken by one of the past politicians and put in his name. And all the while the village council of Carmelita is cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it and say, this is the right spot for the police station. We'll build one police station there. And lo and behold, the ficad, they're not for the village council. I join him in asking whoever it is that owns the property to please return it to the village of Carmelita. It's only the right thing to do.
And then they still have the heart to talk. Garbage. The Honorable Aragon, my brother, has done so much for Carmelita. Known PUPs, their education bill has been paid. When we went into Carmelita Government School, we didn't ask who is UDP in here, who is PUP. Let us get the bill, we're going to clean off all the bill. This year's graduation, the principal told me, Elvis, this is the best graduation I'll ever have because I don't have any problem with worrying about the bills. The minister, along with the village council, paid every bill that was owing in the Carmelita government school. And donated to the feeding program that they have there at the school. We have a spanking new school building, 2-story, with all the facilities. We're going to get our high school. The police station is going to be built.
Mm-hmm.
They find a new location. A business person in the village has donated an acre of land along the highway to put the police station. It's not the ideal location, but it is still a good enough location because it's on the highway. The police can easily set up roadblocks, another thing like that to maybe catch people running away after committing crime along the highways. But we wanted it more in the central part of the village where we could say, well, it will serve the community a lot better. But I believe if the business people that will join in and make sure that the police are properly mobile, maybe with motorcycles, bicycles and stuff like that, they'll still be able to do a very decent job from the location that the police station is going to be built. But at the same time, I'm asking the government to look into this situation because we cannot continue to allow leaders to find opportunities and grab the opportunities for themselves, like the land that was supposed to be for the police station, and snatch this land
and rob the people of what is theirs.
What is theirs. And at the same time, sitting down and allow the village to be maintaining this property and know fairly well what is their intention. And that's why they are so vigilant and pushing so hard to try to see if we could get a change of government so that they can get back these things without any problem. And these things need to stop. We don't expect it to stop. But we are asking the villagers of Carmelita to wake up.
But you're still extremely popular with the people of Carmelita. And I think that you are pretty much convinced, as I am, that the elections was manipulated by the People's United Party.
There was no doubt about that.
They brought in 40, 50 people. They studied it well, and they literally outvoted the Red.
Yeah.
They voted, and they realized that, 50 people can make a difference. So 50 people, they got it. They brought them in from, they took advantage of the ambiguity, of the openness in the Village Council Act, and there's nothing that you could do or anybody else could do.
No.
So they just literally manipulated the elections. Well, tell you what.
How can they sleep well? How can they feel like I'm a good leader after what they did? Do they have any heart? Do they have any conscience? And those are the things that the villagers, even those that took their little $50 or whatever gift they gave them, you need to think about that. Why are they so interested? Why have they invested so much in trying to get possession of these village council. It's just a bid, a drive to try to get possession of the government of Belize so that they can go back to what they have been doing to this country for the period of time that they were there in government. And I am saying this, I don't care who is there. If it is the UDP and you guys do things that you should not do, be prepared to pay the consequence. The system, the world system now is different from it used to be 12 years ago. If you look all over the world, there is uprising in nearly almost every country in this world. Problem in Great Britain, in the United States, Israel, Palestine, Afghanistan, you continue to name them out, Hong Kong, Japan, China. We must be prepared to face some hard times in Belize. And if we put the wrong set of people there, the hard time is going to come much quicker and it's going to be much harder. This United Democratic Party government has been able to save this country that I love so very much and kept this country stable for the past years. And even with all the problem going on around us, you see caravans from all over Central America trying to head to the United States, but none from Belize.
That's right.
Because this government have been able to keep Belize adequately safe enough, economically stable enough for us to survive and for us to live. And we are living in a good country. Let's not continue down this path of making bad decisions and putting the wrong people there to ruin this country. That is my appeal to the Belizeans out there.
Okay. Elvis, we must take a quick break. And let me tell you something. We forgot the telephone, so when we come back, we'll have the telephone with us, so you'll be able to call us and share your comments. Let's take that break now.
6 cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Every friendly competition has a winner and a loser, a runner-up, a second best, someone that just doesn't have what it takes. Our friends know this feeling all too well. Since Digi introduced their new prepaid data plans, Digi fans have been happier than ever. While the other guys, their plans just can't even compare. Digi's new plans have the best value for your dollar. That's more data for less money, with even more options. So keep being a winner and keep living your best life with Digi.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a
Someone come, yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. Why you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
Oh man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, know that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Say, may I listen to me today, so.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 22 minutes before 9 o'clock. We're fast approaching that hour of 9 o'clock. But we still yet have, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this discussion here. I know that when I invited Mr. Elvis to be here with us, Mr. Elvis Reynolds, to be here with us, when I knew that I was going to get full bill and receipt. So thank you very much for your straight up talk, Mr. Elvis. Thank you very much. We have seen that the inadequacy of the Village Council Act in various forms. We have seen how politicians have pretty much manipulated it to their benefit. We see how businessmen are taking advantage of the system as it is. Let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning.
Morning, Manuel. Morning, Elvis.
Morning.
Morning.
I was listening to the show earlier, and I heard this discussion about a police station and the grounds that was maintained, and later that it was found that it's private property. And I'm curious, we spoke about it, we spoke around it, but we still don't know who gave the property to who, and who has it. Is it prohibited to exhibit it on the show? Because I'm curious, I mean, if somebody gave it and somebody own it and you ask for it back, I mean, the public has the right to know who have it and who gave it. I mean, we speak about it, we speak around it, and everybody's curious. So
I agree with you, sir, and I think that we have made, we did make mention of Mr. Cod.
Yes.
Mr. Cod, one certain Mr. Cod. Actually, I saw a copy of the title, and the title says Ramon A. Cod. Yeah. There is no Ramon Cod in Carmelita, is there?
No.
Is there a Ramona?
Yes, there is a Ramona.
There is a Ramona Cod. And that's a relative to the same Mr. Cod, who was previously, who we're talking about. So the title is in Ramona Cod name. Okay? And but it was done such a way that anybody who's trying to do any sort of like research into it would easily be detract, because it clearly says Ramon period A Cod, if I'm not mistaken. Sugar City Morning Show. I'm going to ask you to please call again. I pressed the wrong button there just now. So the property is in Ramon Ramona Cod, as far as I am concerned. But that property was purportedly all the while belonging to the village council.
And if I could add this, I believe that the government can act very swiftly in reacquiring this property if these people do not want to voluntarily turn it back over to the village, because I think there is a law that they call squatter's right. And the village council has been squatting on this piece of land now for...
How long has the property belonged to COD?
2007.
Or 2007.
So the village council has been squatting there now, if we want to call it that, for more than 12 years. So by right, without anyone coming to say, this is my property, leave it alone or anything like that.
Did you at any time get any objections or get any notice that from Mr. Cod that you were infringing on his property?
None.
None. Okay, that's one of the qualifications for that would disbar you from doing that. But in the fact that he has never done that, then I would imagine that you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So, it is disturbing at times when we look at things like that, because even the law, when it relates to land, at that time when that property was acquired, you had to have development on a leased property for it to become a titled property.
Or at least to even maintain the lease current.
Yeah, but you had to have development, not only by cleaning, in terms of having some sort of a structure on the property. Maybe not a completed structure, but you had to maybe have a foundation and planning to build further or something. But there was nothing done on that property. So how did it become a title land? There must be a trail somewhere to show how it became the property of Ramona A. Cod. And if it was done illegally, make it all the more easier for the government to reacquire that property. And I don't know, it is a government or a village council now that is friendly with the owner of this property or who are part of this village council also. So I believe it is the area representative responsibility now to look into this situation and to make sure the government speed up the process of reacquiring this land and now turn it over
Can I ask you a
fully
question?
to the village.
Have you did a check up on the rest of the properties that you presume are village council properties?
We made a check on them and it seems to be okay so far.
Seems to be okay. That was the only part.
Yeah.
The only piece. This all the while was classified as village council land, and village council has been cleaning it and keeping it, and this is right behind the football field, right?
It's right behind the community center.
Right behind the community center. So all the while they said, this is our property. We're going to use it for the fair. We're going to use it for this. We're going to use it for that. And lo and behold, not for the village council, not for some Mrs. Cod. And so you believe that it should be brought back to.
Yes, it definitely need to be. Everybody is saying that it must be.
It's for the community.
Yeah, and everybody know that. So if nobody else knew, leaders of the village knew. And that's what made the situation so much worse, because the leader that's supposed to protect the property of the community that they're leaders for, they're the one that are gobbling up everything that is for the community. Our
Knowing
village
that there is
council.
a Mr. Cud on the village council, would he have known?
They have to know.
You have to know.
Have to know.
Okay.
It's a must for them to know. The village council that I was the head of.
Let me get this call. Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning, buenos dias.
Yeah, just calling again as it relates to this parcel of land in Carmelita for the police station, no? I did not hear the first part that it belonged, they had a private owner. However, it would be interesting to know that if Mr. Ferguson and the area representative for the area believe that the cause is a good one, then I believe it should be pursued and fully investigated. Also, what would make life a lot easier if Carmelita is really, the village of Carmelita is really interested in its internal development, I think there would be no problem to get a letter of petition circulated, have it signed by the people of Carmelita, and that would propel and impulse a motive to get it back. I mean, let us face it. I understand the cards are in the village council, and they have been there for some time now. I mean, this parcel of land is for the development of Carmelita and its people. And if they are so into Carmelita and so devout and interested in its development, then they should have no difficulty.
I agree with you 100%, sir.
But underlying and overriding is the fact that if Carmelita is really interested, and Mr. Ferguson and the area rep are interested in seeing this project go forward in its best possible way, get a letter of petition and have the people of Carmelita sign it. That's the way to go. Anyway, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you too, caller. I just want to verify that I'm Reynolds and not Ferguson.
Right, it's Mr. Reynolds.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic idea. If at any, it would solidify the position of the village. It create consciousness about it, and solidify the position as something good. We want it back because it's ours.
And I just want to say also, that I don't have any problem with cards. As a matter of fact, Cad and myself are a family. My grandfather is Cad. We're close enough relatives. But I have a problem when it comes to development, when it comes to serving people or taking advantage of people. I do have a problem with that. I believe that a person needs just enough to survive. Every Belizean deserves to have at least a housing lot so that they can have somewhere to house their family and raise their family. If you have the means and you can develop a farm, I believe you have a right to go after a little piece of farmland. But it's not my thing that a few people should try to gobble up all or the majority of the land to enrich themselves, and the others are suffering for lack of a piece of land. Hence the reason I was very stiff with my representative, my minister, in trying to get us to acquire land for housing lots in Carmelita. And we have been able to acquire more than 400 lots during the 3 years I was chairman of the village council. And we have adequately distributed these lots mainly to Carmelita residents. Other people outside of Carmelita has also received some lots. But we must also remember that everybody that receive a lot is a Belizean and have a right to a little piece of Belize. All of Carmelita that come there, before they call it. Everybody that lives in Carmelita came from somewhere else, except for the younger ones now that were born there in Carmelita. But we have people in Carmelita from Punta Gorda to Corozal, to the Keys,
A lot
to
from
Benque,
Coquetry, yes.
Coquetry, all over. So, when somebody that is not living in Carmelita presently receive a housing lot because they want to come and live in Carmelita, that is a good way to go. They are Belizean, they deserve a piece of land. Anywhere around in the Orange Walk East, there is no land, only in Carmelita. And the land are fastly coming to an end there in Carmelita. So we need to preserve and get whatever amount of land that is there to get and get it into smaller pieces so that more people can get a lot in Carmelita. Again, I have to big up my area representative. He has done tremendous work. And I know he feels a little sad, a little bit disappointed, but I can tell you that the work that you have done in Carmelita and for the Orange Walk East, the people definitely are thankful, and I know that the people realize what type of a leader you are. And my advice now is to get into the villages, get into the town, take a little time and spend with your people and find out the little needs of your people. And I am most certain that the people of Orange Walk East are intelligent people, they are wise people, and they will be able to differentiate between a good worker and a fake worker. And I am certain that come time for a general election, the people of the Orange Walk East will make the right decision and return the hard-working minister, heir representative back into the next UDP government.
Amen. And I have no doubt that that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, Mr. Minister Elodio Aragon is a fighter, and he will fight his way to victory. And he will do whatever is necessary for him to win that, as long he has done an exceptionally good job in the villages. Now he needs to make it even more so, and to ensure, like you said, that he has communication with the people. Because some people don't need anything. All they need is a pat on the shoulder. All they need is to be recognized. All they need is to be spoken to.
Yep.
They don't need nothing else. Not like me. Me not beg nothing from anybody. But at the end of the day, all I want you to do is to recognize me.
Give me my due.
Give me my due. Elvis, I want to thank you profusely for being here.
I just want to ensure the villagers before we close the manual of Carmelita that every dollar made from the sandpit is accounted for, has been used to the best of our ability in the development of Carmelita, has been given to you, the villagers of Carmelita, as we see it deserving, to help in your time of sickness, in your time of death, to help in educating your family, to make life better for you all, the villagers of Carmelita.
And you have vouchers to show.
And I have vouchers to show. And I want to say to the new village council, do the best you can for Carmelita. If you want to take this as a challenge to do better than we did, I would love for you to do that, because it simply means that Carmelita will be getting more benefit out of you all. At the end of 3 years, then we will judge your performance, and then you can have a say, because you have been a part of what it is. Standing on the outside, it is quite easy to judge us. It is quite easy to throw wrong stones at us. After 3 years, then you can sit down and you
After
can
3 years, you have
say
the privilege of doing
what
that.
it is, because you would have proven yourself. Carmelita, I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to have served you for the past 3 years. And I want to say that whatever I can do, whatever I can help to influence the area representative and the Minister Aragon to do for you, I am here and I am willing to do whatever I can do. Minister, I want to thank you again, and I know that we can look forward to get tremendous amount of work done from you or through you for the remaining period, and we are sure we're going to put you back there again to represent us.
Thank you again, Elvis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. It's exactly 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. I have thoroughly enjoyed the participation of Mr. Elvis Redley. He's a good friend of ours. And I want to thank also the production team. Quiero dar las gracias al equipo de producción por su trabajo. Y a ustedes también, que han estado escuchando y participando. Muchísimas gracias. Este show repite a las 9 por la noche hoy, y también estaremos, primero Dios, estaremos de vuelta con ustedes mañana a la misma hora. Se me cuidan, como siempre digo, si no pueden hacer un bien, no hagan un mal. Se cuidan todos, nos vemos mañana. Bye.
Sugar City Morning Show.